I don't even know what to say anymore. Another day, another round of bullshit from this administration. ICE just raided the home of American citizens in Oklahoma City. They had these people outside in the rain, children in their underwear outside in the rain. Marissa and her three daughters, all U.S. citizens, were, my God, I don't even know how I'm gonna get through this. Had their home raided while they were sleeping, were taken outside. Daughter left in her underwear because ICE would not let her get her clothes on. These are American citizens, MAGA. They stood outside begging for ICE to listen to them, and ICE didn't. They didn't even get a fucking apology. They didn't even get an apology. I can't. And ICE took everything: phones, laptops, cash, their personal savings, and they couldn't even be bothered to make sure they got the right house. And MAGA, if you think this can't happen to you, you are sadly mistaken. This is what ICE is doing to U.S. citizens. And if this doesn't outrage you, then I don't even know what to say to you anymore.
This is the true story of a high school boy who was detained here in Los Angeles while he was out walking his dog. Benjamin Marcelo Guerrero Cruz was detained by ICE while he was out walking his dog. ICE took his dog and tied his dog to a tree. They declared Benjamin under investigation with no badge, no ID, no warrant, no nothing. And a lady who was passing by had to tell Benjamin's mother that he had been detained. Benjamin went on a chaotic journey of detention. First, he was held for a week in downtown Los Angeles in a detention center, where he wore his pajamas for 7 days. He wasn't allowed to take showers, he couldn't brush his teeth, and he was held in a small, cramped room next to a toilet. After about a week, Benjamin was transferred to Adelanto Detention Center, which is in San Bernardino, which is about 90 minutes east of downtown Los Angeles. He stayed there for a while, and then he was transferred to Orange County to Santa Ana, which is probably 45 minutes to 90 minutes south of San Bernardino. And then he was transferred back to downtown Los Angeles, so another 45 to 90 minutes, depending on traffic. And then he was transferred back to San Bernardino, Adelanto Detention Facility. Late one Monday night, ICE unexpectedly took Benjamin from Adelanto Detention Center in San Bernardino and transferred him out of state to Arizona. He was held in a remote detention facility in Arizona, and his family was never notified. The very next day, Benjamin was on a plane that was scheduled to leave for Louisiana to go to a detention hub there that's known for deportation flights. At the last minute on this plane, Benjamin was removed and returned to Adelanto in San Bernardino. So today is August 30th, and Benjamin is still being detained in Adelanto Detention Center in San Bernardino. What a crazy, wild few weeks for this teenager who just simply left the house in his pajamas to go walk the dog. Now, these stories are very important to be shared and told, so please share this story, because we need to let the American people know that there's no transparency, there's no following the law, there's no process for people to call their attorney, to call their family, for this boy to call his mom. This is outrageous, you guys, and it has to stop. I just want to remind you that ICE is ramping up. The big, beautiful bill just funded the largest law enforcement agency in the United States. So let your friends know. Stay safe out there, and if you see things, film it. Always, always film it. Use your voice and speak up.
I don't ever want to hear that Trump isn't racist, because what's happening right now is 1000% about color. He's targeting innocent Latinos and deporting them, tearing families apart, even deporting Americans. He's deported American children with cancer without their medical supplies. On top of that, he's deporting people that are actually in the legal process of becoming Americans. Meanwhile, on Monday, he is welcoming white, keyword white, South Africans into America. He's providing them housing, prepaid phones, weather appropriate clothing, groceries, house furnishings, all while also saying that Latinos are draining the economy. Are you, like, be so fucking for real. Be so fucking for real, because these are the same Latinos that work multiple jobs. When have you seen a Latino immigrant begging on the street? I'll wait. Latino immigrants work multiple jobs, don't even qualify for the benefits that he falsely claims that they are abusing. Babe, they can't even get these benefits. They will sell you flowers, wash your car, wash your house, wash the dishes. They do everything. They don't qualify for these benefits. You think if they qualified for these benefits that they would have all these multiple jobs, babe? Oh my God, like, at this point, I just don't want to hear it. I feel like there's so many people that I know personally that have been gaslighting me, constantly saying, oh, Trump he's not racist, he loves Latinos. Then make it make sense. Make it make sense. And then the ACLU has already reported there has been so many U.S. citizens that have been arrested and detained because they have been racially profiled. Yeah, for the color of their skin and for speaking Spanish. So please, I don't want to fucking hear it. It is about race. It is about color. If you're black and brown in America, you are targeted. And right now they're trying to get rid of habeas corpus, which is going to eliminate your right to resist arrest. So, yeah. For all the Latinos that voted for Trump, babe, it's you or me next at the end of the day. Like, this is about color. This is about preserving whiteness. This has always been that. And, you know, I don't think that we are at a point to, like, blame the people, the Latinos that voted for Trump anymore. I think it's just wake up. Like, there's literally nothing that he's doing that's going to benefit you. Nothing. And I don't think that you need to wait for it to, like, personally affect you for you to wake up. I really beg and implore you to do your own research and just wake up. This isn't right. This is so sad.
ICE has grabbed a toddler, a mother, and a grandmother that are all American citizens. This is the problem when you throw out such a wide net. You don't just catch all illegal criminals. This is pretty disgusting. Patriots check in. This is Secret Service Sam. This is a global sensation. This was reported. This happened in Milwaukee. They spent several hours at a detention center until they were able to prove that they were American citizens. You guys smell that? Racial profiling. That's what I smell. And what I want to know, again, my question is, why are we only profiling Latinos? Why are we acting like Latinos are the only criminal, illegal immigrants in our country? You're telling me there's no other? You know, has anybody been to Glendale recently in California? I mean, there's every single race on earth has criminals. And so I'm wondering, why are we centering in on Latinos? Again, and here's the problem with this. These were American citizens that were taken in, terrified. The daughter thought she was going to be taken away from her mother, a grandmother, a mother, and a toddler. A toddler! What are we doing here, Patriots? Secret Service Sam out. Samson for president of TikTok.
Yesterday, my Uber Eats driver got arrested by ICE while he was delivering my food. I walked downstairs to pick it up, and I noticed his location hadn't changed in like 2 or 3 minutes, and he was like 2 or 3 blocks away from my house. I stepped into the street, and I saw police lights, and I thought maybe he got into an accident, so I walked down to see if I could help him in any way. I then realized that he was being questioned by like 8 or 9 ICE officers, and they were asking about his moped specifically. They said they pulled him over because his plate didn't run under their system correctly or something like that. They then out loud admitted that they were wrong and that there was nothing wrong with his moped. There was nothing wrong with his insurance, his license, or his registration, but he spoke Arabic and not English, and he couldn't explain when he got into the country, so they detained him anyways. During the whole arrest process, the guy clearly says that he doesn't understand English very well and that he wasn't sure what was going on. He didn't know why he was being arrested. They didn't explain to him why he was being arrested. I tried to offer him, Google Translate or something like that. The officers denied that and would not let anybody talk to him in any language that he could understand. After they arrested him and put him in handcuffs, they walked him to the back of the car and they put him in chains like he was an animal around his waist, around his hands, and around his ankles. He was not threatening anybody. He was delivering food. You guys pulled him over because you profiled him, not because his plate was wrong, and then admitted you were wrong and proceeded to follow up with questioning about his immigration status.
As if the news wasn't bad enough, let me give you some more bad news. A woman named Jimmy Rosa went on a family vacation with her children and her husband to Mexico a couple weeks ago. When they landed back from their trip in Massachusetts, where she's been a legal resident for 20 years, ICE was waiting for her. They took her in front of her husband and daughter, and they had no idea why. They were asking, why are you taking her? She has to have medication. She has anxiety. She has diabetes, all these things. They didn't care. They took her. She ended up being hospitalized twice because they would not give her proper medical care. Her husband called every day asking where she was. She was shuffled around from ICE detention center to ICE detention center, at some point even handcuffed to the bed. This woman was traumatized for 2 weeks, finally was released August 10th when her lawyer stepped in and had what appears to be a 20-year-ago small marijuana charge. And they arrested her for that. They were going to deport her for that. Those 2 weeks, her daughters spent crying out every night, "Where's mommy?" And daddy couldn't answer. This is insane. What are we doing? Luckily, she's been released because the lawyer was able to get it expunged. But this is not just her story. This is the story of so many, and you are allowing it. We have to stop this. This is an actual photo of a man being taken by ICE after being granted asylum by a judge. Yes, he went to all of his court hearings. He got married to an American citizen. They've been doing all the paperwork. They've been applying for everything. They've done everything they're supposed to do to make this man a legal citizen. He's following all the protocol and then went before the judge. The judge said, you can stay. You can have asylum while we finalize the paperwork to get you to become a legal citizen. And the moment he walked out, him and his newlywed wife, they heard the handcuffs and ICE arrested him. He was granted asylum by a judge. We have 3 equal branches of government. For those of you who don't know, there's an executive, a legislative, and a judicial. They all hold the same equal balance of power. And a judge said, you can stay, but ICE usurped the judge's ruling and took him anyways. They then sent him home for like an hour or 2 with an ankle monitor and then immediately picked him back up. They gave this woman a Google printout of the detention center that was 5 hours away, and just recently she was able to finally find a lawyer that she could afford to help start working on this process for her husband. This is a kidnapping. They kidnapped a man who was told he could be here. What are y'all doing?
I seriously cannot believe the words that are about to come out of my mouth right now. ICE has yet again detained Kilar Garcia. Yes, that Kilar Garcia, the one who months ago was wrongfully deported due to an administrative error in ICE's system. After months of judges ordering him back to the country, of judges ordering him to be released, he was finally able to spend the weekend with his family to seek some type of normalcy. But what happened this Monday morning? Oh, he followed the law and went to his immigration appointment where ICE detained him again. They are now trying to deport him to fucking Uganda, a place he is not from, he has never stepped foot in, a place where he doesn't speak the language. And let me say it again, the initial deportation was due to an error. Now, for some reason, they keep wanting to pick on this guy, and I think his case is going to be studied by legal experts for years and decades to come. But Uganda, the judge literally said, even if they do try to deport him to a third country where he's not from, that he has to have a 72-hour notice. Well, they broke the law again and detained him again. This is not policy. This is fucking punishment. This is retaliation, and it needs to stop.
This is what it's come to. A U.S. citizen is being held in a detention center by ICE. Not a resident, not a green card holder, not even someone who had applied for citizenship and gotten it, like as a grown-up, which would be valid if he had. No, he was born here in the state of Georgia. And he was traveling to Tallahassee, and there's a law in the books, which is being challenged, by the way, in Florida, that says it's illegal for an undocumented person to enter the state. The car he was in was pulled over. He wasn't driving. He was the passenger. He was suspected of no crime other than being an undocumented person entering the state, and he was arrested for that. And then he had a court date where his mother showed up with his birth certificate, handed it to the judge. The judge confirmed this is an authentic birth certificate. This person is a U.S. citizen by birth, and my hands are tied. There's nothing I can do because he's on a federal ICE hold. His crime was being brown and having a Latino name. That's what he was guilty of. And he is still incarcerated right now as a U.S. fucking citizen. Hey, Miami Cubans that are all pro-Trump. This can be you. It happens this easy. People who aren't getting due process are being shipped to a prison in El Salvador. And now people who are U.S. citizens and are proving I'm a U.S. citizen are still being incarcerated. You need to be worried.
So a police officer has been arrested by ICE, and I think that's something we all should be concerned about because his name is John Luke Evans. He's from Maine. He works at a local police department as a reserve officer, moving up the ladder or whatever. He was hired a couple years ago, or I'm not even sure the time frame, but when he was hired, they had to do certain government checks like E-Verify. He passed everything with flying colors. He was eligible to be hired in America and has been lawfully working here since then. His colleagues are shocked. They don't know what to do because he was literally just taken off the job July 25th, arrested, and ICE won't tell them anything. Won't say where he's at, won't say what detention center or where he might be going, and won't let them contact him. They are furious in this community. This man is well respected. This man has a wife, and they just took him one afternoon and now won't say where he is. And this man has due process rights. He was verified to work in America. This is such a big deal.
Hey, Bookie. I know you didn't watch the news this morning, but I did because I'm nosy. So let me catch you up in 60 seconds. Okay, come on. Okay, so as reported in Arizona, there have been ICE agents arresting Native citizens. Huh? Okay, and for those that don't know your history, the natives are the ones that found the U.S. soil. It was stolen from them. Y'all, we got to use critical thinking in this case. Where are you going to send them to is the question. Where are you going to send them to? So now Congress is trying to bring into court, oh, they still have to show citizenship. Where are you going to send them to? India? Y'all got to be for real. So now the Native tribe leaders are advising their fellow community to make sure that you carry something on you that's identifying that you are Native American and not Hispanic, which I'm pretty sure that's what they're doing, is trying to racial profile them. Yeah, I don't know. I just report the news. But I did say I was going to give y'all your information within 60 seconds. I hope I did give y'all some information within 60 seconds. Also, give me a follow and follow me on YouTube at Mommy in the Courtroom. Y'all have a good day.